Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
13 former rebels complete the radicalization program in Surigao del Norte. 15 IB condemns NPA remnants for killing civilians in southern Negros. DPWH assures no vital papers destroyed in fire. OFW hospital in Pampanga makes first successful cancer surgery.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo in Quezon City. Today is Thursday, October 23, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rob Susan Abay, here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, 13 former rebels successfully completed a 5-day deradicalization program at the halfway house in Tubod, Surigao del Norte, marking a step toward peaceful reintegration. The program, led by 38th Infantry Battalion and the provincial government, focused on healing, trust building, and personal renewal. Participants underwent psychosocial and spiritual sessions to help them embrace change and rebuild their lives. Army officials praised their courage and emphasized that peace and reconciliation are the true paths to lasting progress in the province.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The 15th Infantry Battalion reported that New People's Army remnants have been terrorizing and killing civilians in southern Negros for refusing to rejoin their ranks. 15th IB Commander Lieutenant Colonel Elmar Salvador confirmed the 5 civilians, including a barangay official, were slain in Kawayan and Kabangkalan City in the past 2 months. He identified the group led by Kakalbo as behind the attacks, targeting former supporters and community members. Military and police forces have intensified joint operations to neutralize the rebels and protect residents from further violence.
Armed Forces Radio.
From PAFCMO, let us hear from Apple about Philippine Air Force marks PUSSL 2025 first runner-up win through Thanksgiving and brutal fight.
Yes, Rolf, with 6 golds, 10 silvers, and 6 bronzes, the Philippine Air Force proudly celebrated its first runner-up finish in the recently concluded Philippine Uniformed Services Sports League, or PUSSL 2025. In his message, the Commanding General Philippine Air Force, Lieutenant General Arthur M. Cordura, commended the PAF for its outstanding performance in the recently concluded league. He highlighted the grit, heart, and unity of every airman and airwoman, further emphasizing that beyond medals, athletes displayed humility, dignity, and professionalism that reflect the Air Force core values. This is Apple Borabo, reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Apple, from PAFCMO.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Government troops from the 40th Infantry Battalion pacified tensions between 2 armed groups in Barangay Barungis, Ligawasan, Barm yesterday. The soldiers quickly responded after receiving reports of gunfire between the groups of Makli Adam and Barangay Kagawa Taib Sampulna. 1 person from Sampula's group was killed as troops recovered 7 high-powered firearms and a grenade during clearing operations. Authorities have turned over the investigation to the police to determine the cause of the clash and hold those responsible accountable.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The municipal government of Calamansig in Sultan Kudarat has sought the Philippines Army's help to construct roads connecting isolated sitios in barangays Nalilidad, Hinalaan, and Datu Wasay. Mayor Ronan Eugene Garcia said the project aims to curb insurgency by improving access, mobility, and development in far-flung areas. The Provincial Peace and Order Council endorsed the collaboration with the 549th Engineering Brigade to provide needed construction support. Initial surveys and assessments for the road project are now underway to pave the way for implementation.
Armed Forces Radio.
From NOLCOM, let us hear some information from Joanne about Masinag Battalion marks 5 years of service in Apayao.
What began as a battalion committed to securing the upland communities of Apayao has grown into one of the province's most trusted partners in peace and development. The 98th Infantry Masinag Battalion celebrated its 5th founding anniversary on October 20th with local officials and residents joining Masinag troopers in honoring 5 years of service to the people of Apayao. Governor Elias C. Bulot Jr. led the province in recognizing the battalion's contribution not only in maintaining peace and order, but also helping drive Apayao's local economy. The governor cited how the presence of the battalion has fostered confidence among communities and investors, paving the way for new opportunities in agriculture, trade, and tourism. For its part, the Philippine Army reaffirmed its commitment to the province. Major General Gulliver L. Sinieres, commander of the 5th Infantry Star Division and guest of honor, lauded the strong partnership between the local government and the military in sustaining peace and stability. This is John Sagak reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne from NOLCOM.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Army Chief Lieutenant General Antonio Navarrete attended the Seoul International Aerospace and Defense Exhibition, or ADEX 2025, in South Korea to explore advancements in drone warfare and integrated defense systems. The event gathered global military leaders and experts to showcase innovations shaping future military operations. Lieutenant General Navarrete also held talks with Republic of Korea Army Chief General Kim Gyu-ha to boost defense cooperation between the two nations. His participation highlights the Philippine Army's commitment to modernization and regional security under the Armed Forces of the Philippines' comprehensive archipelagic defense operations.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Department of Public Works and Highways said that no important documents were destroyed in a mysterious fire that hit its Bureau of Research and Standards building yesterday. The BRS is responsible for the conduct of research, studies, pilot testings, and formulation of policies for government infrastructure projects. DPWH said the findings indicate that the fire originated from a computer unit inside the materials testing division that reportedly exploded. It added that an investigation team was deployed to investigate the fire. Independent Commission for Infrastructure Chairperson Andres Reyes Jr. also confirmed that documents related to flood control projects were damaged in the fire.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Amy about AFP gains high public trust and satisfaction in latest Octa survey.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines expressed gratitude after the latest Octa Research Tugon ng Masa survey showed that 73% of Filipinos trust and are satisfied with its performance. The AFP recorded a plus 66 net trust and a plus 68 net satisfaction rating, reflecting strong confidence across all regions and social classes. The survey also revealed revealed broad public support for defending the West Philippine Sea and strengthening alliances with partner nations. AFP leaders thanked the troops for their dedication, vowing to sustain efforts in building a strong and credible military for national defense. This is Ami reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Amy.
DWDD National News.
The Commission on Elections is willing to provide information on the campaign contribution of contractors in the last two elections to the Independent Commission for Infrastructure. According to Public Chairperson George Garcia, they are ready to share their findings with the ICI in case the latter would ask for their assistance. He added that the Office of the Ombudsman has already coordinated with them on the matter. At the same time, Garcia revealed that 4 senators elected during the May 2025 polls were among those that have possibly received campaign contributions from private contractors.
DWDD National News.
The Commission on Elections is set to issue a resolution that would determine whether a case will be filed against Senator Francis Escudero and a contractor in connection with the latter's 30 million donation to the Senator's 2022 senatorial campaign. COMEC Chairperson George Erwin Garcia said that the only matter to be resolved is the legality of the campaign. Escudero has admitted receiving the 30 million donation from his contractor friend Lawrence Lobiano, the president of Centerways Construction and Development Incorporated. Garcia disclosed that 6 senatorial candidates also received donations from contractors for their 2025 election campaign.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Spencer about the Army troops recover armed cache in Bukidnon through joint operations.
U.S. ROF government troops from the 88th Infantry Battalion, with support from other Army units and former rebels, recovered 2 armed cache in the hinterlands of Palaybalay City, Bukidnon. The first cache contained an AK-47 rifle, while another rifle and magazines were discovered a week later in a separate operation. The successful recoveries were made possible through information provided by 2 former rebels who surrendered to the authorities. Army officials lauded the operations of former insurgents and reaffirmed their commitment in sustaining peace and security in the province. This is Spencer, reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer.
DWDD National News.
The Bureau of Customs assured the public that the 13 luxury vehicles of contractor couple Curly and Sara Discaya that will be auctioned off are safe to use. Assistant Commissioner Vincent Philip Maronilla said the high-end cars that were found to have been illegally imported are available for auction on November 15. These cars would be sold by the BOC. The BOC spokesperson added that they would go through the proper process and would issue a certification stating that they purchased them at the auction.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development and Pag-ibig Fund will host the 2-day National Housing Expo at the World Trade Center in Pasay City. Nearly 30,000 potential home buyers are expected to attend. Human Settlements Secretary and Pag-ibig Fund Chairperson Jose Ramon Aliling said other key government shelter agencies as well as private developers are also expected to join and showcase housing opportunities during the event that would run today, October 23 to October 24. Aliling said the National Housing Expo stands as a landmark initiative that unites and brings together the entire housing sector, both government agencies and private institutions alike.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now some information from Jai about the Army reservists help repack relief goods for Typhoon Ramil victims in Capiz.
Of Army reservists from the 603rd Community Defense Center and 6th Regional Community Defense Group joined relief efforts for families affected by Typhoon Ramil in Capiz. Around 2,000 families are expected to benefit from the repacked goods distributed through the joint effort. The operation, supported by Cebu Pacific Air Cargo and other partners, ensures the swift delivery of aid to hard-hit communities. The initiative highlights the spirit of bayanihan and the vital role of reservists in humanitarian response. This is Jai reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jai.
DWDD National News.
Meanwhile, the OFW hospital in Pampanga achieved its first medical breakthrough by performing a modified radical mastectomy or MRM at the facility. The Department of Migrant Workers said the procedure was performed on a 39-year-old patient who was a former overseas Filipino worker. After it was confirmed that she had stage 2B breast cancer, doctors recommended a modified radical mastectomy as the best course of treatment. The MRM surgical procedure removes an entire breast and some lymph nodes in the underarm while preserving chest muscles.
DWDD National News.
The Supreme Court reaffirmed that requests for the statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth of its justices remain subject to approval by the court and bank. As you know, the process seeks to strike a balance between transparency, privacy, and the independence of the judiciary. Supreme Court spokesperson Camille Ting said the High Court continues to observe the procedures set out under Administrative Matter 0986 SC. Under the 2012 rules, all requests are filed through the Office of the Clerk of Court, which endorses them to the Ang Bank for deliberation and approval.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our report on the ground, let us hear the report of Shaina about AFP warns against disinformation aimed at dividing active and retired troops.
Yes, Ruff. The Armed Forces of the Philippines warned that the unidentified groups are spreading disinformation to create discord between active and retired military personnel. Navy Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad said the campaign seeks to discredit the AFP and weaken national unity by agitating some military retirees. He urged retired personnel and the public to remain vigilant against false information meant to manipulate and divide them. The AFP reaffirmed its loyalty to the Constitution and warned against using soldiers for partisan or political agendas. This is Shaina Raneta reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Shaina.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. appointed former Ombudsman Merceditas Gutierrez as the new chairperson of the National Commission of Senior Citizens. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said that Gutierrez would serve as NCSC chairperson until September 17, 2031. Castro cited her long track record as a lawyer and public servant as key to her appointment. Prior to her appointment, Gutierrez served as a member of the Board of Trustees of the Government Service Insurance System since 2023.
DWDD National News.
Former Philippine National Police Chief Nicolas Torres III is considering early retirement as his 2-month leave is set to end on October 31. Torres will reach the mandatory retirement age of 57 on March 11, 2027. In an interview, Torres said he has no fixed plans as of yet, but his life outside the PNP earlier than 2027 is indeed a consideration. He added that retirement is one of the many options he observes before making any decision.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more from El Joy of First Year G about MBLT 8 participates in the PMC Karangalan Marathon 2025 in Lawag City.
Yes, Rolf, personnel of Marine Battalion Landing Team 8 under the 4th Marine Brigade actively participated in the Philippine Marine Corps Karangalan Marathon 2025 Lawag City Leg in celebration of the 75th founding anniversary of the Philippine Marine Corps. The event, conducted simultaneously in various locations nationwide, highlighted the virtue of honor, the cornerstone of every Marine's character and the very essence of Corps' motto, honor, duty, and valor. Through their active participation, the Marines of MBLT-8 exemplified the spirit of honor by dedicating their effort to noble cause, supporting Philippine Marine Corps scholars and the dependents of fallen and wounded Marines. Their commitment reflected the unit's steadfast dedication to service, discipline, and unity, truly embodying the proud tradition of the Philippine Marine Corps. This is Meldrin Nesho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Maljoy of First CRG.
Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Leonor. Philippine Army deletes Cavite Representative Barzaga from Reserve Force over online statements.
The Philippine Army confirmed that Cavite 4th District Representative Kiko Barzaga was delisted from the Reserve Force effective September 21 for actions equivalent to grave offenses. Army spokesperson Colonel Louis De Maala said his social media post, which included a photo of him in military uniform, were deemed to incite sedition and compromise the armed forces of the Philippines' non-partisan stance. Following the delisting, Barzaga lost his reserve status and is barred from future military commissioning and wearing the uniform. The Army emphasized that the move upholds military professionalism and does not reflect on the lawmakers' public service record. This is Leonor Talp reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
For our weather update, gale force winds and heavy rains are forecast across Batanes, now under tropical cyclone wind signal number 2. Pag-asa says Tropical Storm Salome was last tracked over the coastal waters of Sabtang, Batanes. It is moving south-southwest at 20 kilometers per hour. Strong winds will prevail in areas under signal number 1 in western portion of Babuyan Islands and the northwestern portion of Ilocos Norte.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
As that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, the DWD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rob Susan Abay for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.